Raiders. Patch notes came out and the community is angry. Yes, you hear it right. I always say with every patch note, it leaves room for a lot of criticism. And unfortunately, the community didn't like this one as much as we had hoped. I haven't had the chance to try it myself. However, I'm just going to be going through the patch notes, what people are saying, and then maybe we can have a conversation in the comments. Before I begin, I'm M4 Actual. Welcome to my channel. I cover all types of Arc Raiders content, from controversial takes to tips and tricks, and even some guides. So if you're looking for certain items, be sure to check out my shorts. I know a few places where they are high loot spawns for those items, so be sure to check those out. Again, without further ado, let's get into this patch. All right, so we're going to get into the patch notes. Before I begin, I do want to throw a disclaimer out there. I have not tested any of these changes, so I don't know personally how they affect us. I am only going to read what is said here, and then I am going to tell you what the community is saying about it. I'm going to go straight down the line. We're going to start talking with the first changes, and then we'll go down the list. And then I'm going to talk about how this may affect, or how people are saying it's affecting Raiders in this current week. All right, starting with the balance changes, we're going to talk about the item, the deadline. What they did is they took the value for buying and selling and increased both, and they also changed the crafting material. So instead of two explosives, you need two explosive compounds, you need three now, and instead of using synthesized fuel, you need two arc circuitries. Then they also reduced the stock on the trader from 3 to 1. Continuing down the list, the power cells, the cell value is now reduced from 640 to 270. The launcher ammo, the buy value, the old one was 10 launcher ammo for 6,000 coins, and now it's 6 for 4,500. But the cell value increased by 50, and the crafting has also changed. Now, instead of 4 metal parts, 1 explosive compound, you need 1 arc motion core and 2 crude explosives. Launch ammo crafting is also now available without needing a blueprint. So for those of you that found a blueprint, like myself, we just we found a blueprint for no reason. All right. And now we get into the area that the most people have complaints about. Okay. And I'm going to say my 2 cents before I get into this. When a new game comes out, one of the worst things you can do is over nerf things. All right. A streamer gets a hold of a gun, makes it popular, thousands of people view it, and they see that this weapon is strong, and that becomes the meta loadout. It happened with the Ventenator, and it's happening with that little glitch that they could do with the animation cancel. Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about, which isn't discussed in this patch note, by the way. But I have full faith in this game. I have full faith in the developers. However, I also feel like just because I trust them doesn't mean I shouldn't voice my opinion. When it comes to nerfs, you have to be very careful. Okay. Again, I haven't tested this, so I don't know how bad this nerf is, but nerfs usually hurt the game more than they do the game justice. It is always better to buff other aspects of the game for balancing purposes and then tune it back if that doesn't work. Because who's going to complain about things working better? Right? Not many people. Okay. There's a select few. There's people that complain if, the game's doing well. Right? So let's take that with a grain of salt. Anyways, the Ventenator. Look, the dev note says a fully upgraded Ventenator has been overperforming recently, capable of outgunning full squads using close range. And we've all seen it. Those Ventenator killers. I myself love running that gun. Okay? And maybe that's why I'm a little biased on the nerf. I I'm not too, I'm not too above myself to admit. I liked where it was at, and I'm a little sad it got nerfed. However, that's not going to stop me from playing the game. That's not going to make me regret buying the game or hate the devs in any way, right? Many companies do this. They nerf first, and that's okay, right? Now, without reading the rest of it, let's just read what they actually did. Reduce the fire rate gained from upgrades from 22, 44, 60% to 13, 26, 40%. Increase the weight from 2 to 5. And the problem lies with the fact that a lot of people are saying it doesn't work. The Ventenator's still strong. They hate the Ventenator being strong. Some of you watching this video right now might hate the Ventenator being strong, and you're glad it got nerfed. And I think that discussion is a healthy one to have for the state of the game. I liked it strong. It being nerfed is, I'm still going to play the game. It's not the only gun I ran, all right? I think the animation cancel is a far bigger problem, but whatever. Okay, then we move down to the explosive damage. We've noticed the explosive damage dealt to more parts at once than intended, allowing weapons like the Hullcracker to kill larger drones too quickly. Okay, for those of you that are playing the rank mode and trying to reach top 100, I myself, I'm not going to reach top 100 because it seems like every time there's like an hour left, someone miraculously or multiple people miraculously drop me out of the top 20 and I fall into just a single promotion. But anyways, those people that are grinding these and grind them early, that the ones that don't have a job or can't play as much, they have a lot of high scores. And because of this nerf, anyone who focuses their trials on the weekend are going to have a very difficult time catching up. Now, I don't know if it's impossible, but I know it's going to be a difficult time for them to catch up because what people were doing was throwing snitch scanners on the 2-time events. All the drones were falling. They were shooting it with hull crackers, multiple drones getting destroyed at once. Bam, they were getting their points. Some people were reaching 60 to 100,000 in their trials. Okay, just off of the PvE side of the game. Right? Hull cracker, snitches, shoot the drones, that strat. So there's a lot of people that are complaining about the game saying, hey, look, I don't have time to play it. And now you pretty much took me out of range to be able to hit this double promotion this week. Okay. I happen to agree with this sentiment. This this nerf happening in between trials is a big deal for those that are grinding the rank mode. And I have empathy for them because I feel their sentiment. They have to work. They can't play early in the week. Everyone else that does is kind of everyone that gets to play early in the week is getting some kind of like perk. Like, hey, thank you for not having to commit so much time to your job. Nobody's gonna catch up to you this week, right? That's how I feel. All right, we're going to continue moving on down. There's a couple bug fixes, all right, some audio fixes and some map bug fixes. So those, they're in there. I don't see too many people complaining about those fixes, so we're not going to cover that. We're going to get down to the weapons, all right? The Affiliate. Fixed an issue where the Affiliate tracers could become excessively bright at distance, reducing visibility for the players being shot at. I personally haven't found one of these blueprints, but hopefully, because of the increased blueprint drops, I can now find some. I know a lot of people in the community have not been able to find them. So they've been asking questions like, are they locked behind a puzzle or are they actually drops? It's led to some speculation, but they increased the blueprint drops. So let's see if we get it. And then the Stitcher corrected player facing stats for the Stitcher, showing incorrect scaling of reloading times across upgrade levels. So that is fixed. And then see your top side. All right. So that is all the patch notes. Let me know in the comments if these actually work. Are the guns still strong? Do you agree with these changes? Do you agree or disagree with anything I said? And until next time, see you topside, Raiders. And 4Actual out.